I'll go ahead and get started. Thank you for joining me this morning. I hope this works out. If not, we can schedule it at a different date. But I wanted to briefly tell you what we're going to review today. We're going to review a return to work toolbox that's browser-based online. And it's inside the toolbox are a modified duty database, an essential job function database, and also a forms cabinet. So today we're going to look at an account-specific database that's set up specifically for state government. I've just put in some sample modified duty and essential job function descriptions to let you see that. But the first thing I wanted to talk about was the hierarchy. And right now we're looking at, obviously, templates set up for state government. But the entity could be the state of Utah. Next hierarchy, it's a three-level hierarchy. The next could be a agency. And the third could be an occupation or department. So what I want to let you know is this hierarchy is flexible. So what I've done today is I've set up, some sample state agencies for you, and we could go down and look at public safety and corrections, and then the department or division could be highway patrol or it could be prisons. So we'll take a look at highway patrol, and so that talks about the hierarchy, this level here. And the other thing that I wanted to tell you is the site can be branded specifically to the state of Utah or to a specific agency. So if the hierarchy was really your agencies would log in, they would see public safety and corrections at the top level. Their logo or their name would appear here. So you can see under highway patrol, we have these transitional work assignments. And there's a number of them. And again, I pulled from the database several things that we've done with police, sheriff, and highway patrol in terms of modified duty while that officer, is not able to perform full duty. So the first thing I wanted to show you is that you can put a name on any of these documents as well. So you can put the person's name, the date of injury, the hours of release, and it has a physician's release on the document, or you can suppress that. So we'll take a look at one of those, and we'll look at desk officer. So each of these that are listed there will open up into a PDF. It looks like this. So you can see my name is on there, the date of injury, the actual transitional work assignment, where it's located, the department, and a summary of that transitional duty, the physical demands of that, and then there's the physician's release on that. So you can tell by looking at this list that really the ones that I loaded in here for the highway patrol are all very sedentary tasks. It's desk duty, no lifting. Some of the duties are stand and walk, 1 to 2-handed, less than 10 pounds. Some of it is a sit, stand, or sit, drive, and walk. So there are various levels of these transitional work assignments. And, so the department would get the work restrictions from the physician, and it's pretty easy to match up on these. So the other thing that I wanted to tell you is each of these can be edited. So if we looked at this desk officer telephone reports, the titles, any of the summary information can be edited, as well as the frequency of the physical demands and any of these fields. Everything can be customized. But you're starting with a database that is pretty specific to law enforcement to begin with. So we've looked at the transitional work assignments. Um, and typically we're going to have anywhere from 12 to 25 transitional work assignments for each occupation that we're looking at. So the second database, while we're in there, things are filed within the same hierarchy. You can see we have the essential job function analysis that are part of the highway patrol, and that could include dispatch, forensics, technicians, patrol officers, motorcycle sergeants. We have lieutenants and captains. And so we'll just look at a patrol officer essential job function description. And each of these has been developed by doing on-site weights and measurements of these occupations. So you can see it's a one-page physician-friendly analysis that has a physician's release as well. So the frequency of the demand itself, the standing, sitting, walking, you can see this is 1 to 5 miles, frequently walking for an officer depending on some assignments. The lift carry can have the physical demands up to a seldom. If you're involved in altercations, you can see over here push and pull, over 100 pounds force in altercations. While it does happen, it's very seldom, or involved in medical emergencies. So these are included in the database, everything that we've analyzed. The other thing is I wanted to show you that you can also go in and edit any of these. So the full descriptions are edited. You can cut and paste out of your descriptions or edit the ones that we have in there. Each of these fields can be easily edited from the physical demands. This space goes on a little longer. It is character limited, but you can describe the body positions, the movement, the use of hands, the lift carry, that sort of thing, all the way down to the environmental conditions, what that occupation, the conditions of the environment that they're working in, job specific. Any of these items are editable, and then the personal protective equipment is just a checklist. So any changes you make, it just saves it. So developing this hierarchy for each individual agency would give them the ability to customize the database that I would load. And part of my work with the state of Utah would be to take any information that they have about their transitional work assignments that they use and set that up in addition to what I have. And you can see that it's very easy to, you could edit, you can delete any of these items, change them, totally for your use. And also within the department, if they have any specific forms. So these come up in a PDF or a Word document. We put in some return to work agreements and work status reports that are there. So I'll go back and quickly go over this again. You can see some of the other agencies that we put in there. Just to let you see some of the transitional work assignments that involved around fire, wildland fires, fire injuries to that occupational group. What are some of the modified duties? The other thing that we put in there are specific firefighter, wildland fire jobs. But if these titles don't work, again, any of this can be edited. We would take your documents, and what I would do would be a document review in the initial setup of this, which is included in the account fee. So we've looked at all 3 databases that are in the toolbox. There is an online help system, how to operate. I would also provide a training that would be like this, that by agency, I would set up a training date. We could go through this with the agency workers' comp coordinators, and also record that and provide that to the agency. So this initial setup for the state of Utah, we currently do not have a state using this system. We have state of Iowa, their municipal league is using it. We have large counties close by to you. We have Clark County, Las Vegas, that's been using this system. So got some good references for you. But in our interest to, to develop a relationship with the state government, we would set our annual subscription fee at $7,500, and that would include 3 agency setups and trainings. And depending on how much work, if you've got, well, I've got top 4, we could, again, depending on how much work it is in the setup, specifically to offer things beyond our customized database, 3 to 4 agencies, setup and training. Going on, if this was of interest to other agencies, we would keep the annual subscription fee at that $7,500 and just charge a one-time setup fee to add an agency, very inexpensive, again, just to get their data in there, get our data loaded, and provide a training. So let me go back and look at this. I can see you're still there. I'm sorry that we're not able to connect on this. Julie, can you hear me now? Well, you can probably hear me, but I can't hear you for some reason. So I'm glad that you're still with me. So what I'll do is I will send this to you. Minimize this. There is one other thing I wanted to show you that comes in addition to this that would have value for all state agencies. We have a database that comes with this that is an all occupational modified duty database. So you can see that you can select, many of yours would be service occupations. It gives you a definition of what a service occupation is. We could choose that. And if we went to healthcare support, you can see that we have a number of modified duty things in that as well. We will go back to something that we have looked at. We look at protective services. You can see that several of those are also on there. So this database comes in addition to the account-specific one that we would set up. And it could be used by the claims folks in your Department of Insurance as well. So quick review, we would go back to how this could be set up by so this could be agency or the state of Utah government. This could be agencies here or divisions or departments. And then the final one would be, it could be by occupations. So that whole hierarchy is flexible. And the branding to either the state, yours would be set up that way, but the branding could be specific to the agency. So I'm going to call you right now. We'll close this out. I'm going to end the recording, and I will, as soon as I get